Hi, I'm Bob Sparks. I'm part of the engineering team that's bringing the Latitude XT to market later this year. As you can see, it's a nice, thin, square profile machine, nice bright display. Obviously, being a tablet PC, it's got a pen that you can use for a flexible user input. But the biggest piece of technology that we're introducing is the capacitive touchscreen. I have Rick Seeger here with me, and he's the president of Intrig in the United States, and you're going to tell us about this technology.
Well, thank you, Bob. Before we dive in and actually show you the technology, there's a lot of excitement in the industry around capacitive touch and what that means to the cell phone market. And while that's interesting, the real excitement is going to be when this hits the computer industry. This is where productivity takes a big push up. There really haven't been any major breakthroughs in the marketplace for input devices for many years. In fact, a mouse was a desktop device if you're glued to a desk. The touchpads and dongles and the traditional ways of working with notebooks are more than 10 years old. And in the case of most tablet PCs, they're using an 18-year-old or older technology for the pen technologies. So this is now the first time where the computer is actually going to get the benefit of capacitive touch. And so let's talk about what that really means to the marketplace and how Intrig and Dell working together have brought this technology to fruition.
Great.
Okay, so Bob, here's the joy of zero pressure capacitive touch from Intrig. We've actually got zero pressure, just a slightest touch of the screen, and we can do what we call flicks. Now, flicks can go we can go forward with a flick, we can go backwards with a flick.
Tell me some more about the flicks.
So the flicks are a variety of things. So let's say I jump to a website. I can use this website to, do it once at a time, to go forward, backwards. I can use these very simply to move forward or backwards, scroll down, scroll up. I can use this in my email or wherever I would like to use it. I can, for instance, for file management. It's always interesting for me to try and keep track of all the files and all the activities that are going on. But so we have the ability to use gestures in a variety of ways for managing files. In this case, I'm doing a gesture. This is a control gesture. I can select an item. I can do a control gesture, select another item, control, select another item. I could keep going through and doing as many of these as we want. In this case, this is a picture, Bob, of the mountains where you need to come visit, where we'll go hiking. But I'm going to email this to you very quickly, and because email to you often, the system knows I'm trying to send it to you. I can hit send and go. I'll spare you the email. But it's very fast, very easy, and gestures become an integral part of how you work with the computer.
Very nice.
One of the things that I find particularly valuable in websites is the ability to grab a group of items or a set of text. Again, this is a very nice way I can use flicks to simply copy. In this case, I'll just hit your name because I know you're in my contacts list. As simple as touch, paste, and send. And boom, it's off to you. So I can send you text from web pages. I can send you pictures. I could send you PowerPoint. Everything that I do on a regular basis, I have access to.
So I hear a lot about freestyle computing. What is that?
Oh, yes. So let me show you what... First off, freestyle computing, the benefit of having all your information, no matter how cluttered your desktop is, to have all your information available to you. It's very nice to be able to grab one of these documents and use the information in it. Or in the case of notes, I'm just going to show you an example of real live notes. I grabbed this out of my OneNotes that I typically work with on a daily basis. And this is just one page out of my notes. But you could see I can use the highlighter to highlight things. I can add to my notes. I can write on top of Excel documents. Very often I'll just grab an entire section of an Excel document that I'm particularly interested in. Or perhaps I'll grab text out of an article that might be interesting. I'll grab a price list or a picture or a a graph. Oftentimes there's graphs that I want to reuse over and over again. All of my notes are searchable, so I can find all this information very quickly, and very often I'll just use, here's an example of drawing. Very often it's easier just to draw something to show somebody how it works. But freestyle computing in general is all about the ability to have all your information at your fingertips, to be able to get access to your notes, all your documents. A PowerPoint presentation actually comes to life when you start highlighting it while you're talking to somebody. All of your Excel, web clips, email, graphs, drawings, all of this comes together at your fingertips, and suddenly now you can move through documents and find information much faster and much easier.
So how does that technology work, Rick?
So, technologies are composed of three elements. One, the dual mode digitizer from Intrigue is the sensor itself, what we call the sensor module. The pen itself and what we call the microprocessor, or the brains of the system. That includes all the algorithms and Intrigue-based firmware and software. This then feeds back to the main processor and manages the communications. The sensor itself is actually comprised of a series of grid lines. And this grid is invisible to the user. He can't see it, but this is how we get our accuracy. So the accuracy actually comes down to, we can get accuracy down to sub-pixel resolutions just with our touch. So if you're looking at, and you can actually see the pixels in your display, know that we're actually sensing touch at a level that's much higher resolution than that. The other thing you'll notice is that with our pen, we have an electrostatic pen that is made up of two buttons. The first button is a right click. The second button is an erase button. So we have the ability, using our electrostatic pen with the same sensor as the touch, to be able to sense hover. We can write with it. We actually have 250 levels of pressure sensitivity. And when you talk about character recognition, whether it's Asian character recognitions or U.S. Writing with English, you're going to run into this as being a very important feature. We think that the pen and touch combination from Intrigue enables the XT with the best pen and touch in the industry and with the best character recognition in the industry.
Right. There are a lot of first-time-to-market features in this product, right?
There are. So Dell's going to be the first to market to deliver a capacitive touch in any kind of a convertible or notebook technology. And we've partnered together to work and bring together this third generation of Intrigue technology to the market for the first time. So it's going to be very interesting, very exciting for the market. But more than that, because of the accuracy, this is the most accurate pen and touch in the industry. You're going to get certainly the high accuracy, but with that comes things like the best palm rejection in the industry. You get the most durable, most efficient usability of this. The fact that there's no resistive touch screen on the top surface means you're going to get more transparency, and the durability and long-lasting nature of that of this top surface is going to be much better. And you're going to get number one, and I think most important, the flicks and the gestures and everything that comes with freestyle computing and the benefit of working with that.
Hey, Rick, that's really great technology. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. And one more quick point, because it's so important that people don't underestimate the power of having the right tools. When you put the XT in the hands of somebody and they've got the capacitive touch from Intrigue built into it, it's a powerful tool. At the tip of your finger, it's accurate, it's fast, it's easy to use. All of this information is easily available, and I know when the XT comes out, people are going to be very excited about this technology. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rick. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.